All right, guys, it's UFC Fight Week. We got Paddy Pimblett on the pod. So pumped for this one. Before we get into it, if you guys have not tried out the Prize Picks app, you got to download it right now. You guys know me. I have tried every single app when it comes to firing on sports, and Prize Picks, hands down, is the best app in the game. Baseball's back on. NBA and NHL playoffs are around the corner. The Masters is on next weekend, and UFC 314 that Paddy's fighting on is next weekend as well. We're actually going to be at the fight, so we're doing a community play on the Prize Picks app, so look out for that on the Prize Picks app. Make sure you tail our pick. Also, we got you guys on code NELK. Plug in code NELK and put in just $5 and you get $50 free, no strings attached. It's that simple. So guys, download the Prize Picks app. There's no better time to fire on sports. Literally everything's on. Download it and use code NELK. Let's get into the pod. All right, boys, we got a fucking sick pod today. UFC Fight Week. We got Paddy the Baddie on the pod. It's been a long time in the making. We've been going back and forth for I looked today, 2 or 3 years. So you come a long way. So I'm pumped to have you on, bro.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is a long time in the making. Looking forward to this. But yeah, in them last 3 years, been some big developments in my career and my life. So it's probably better that we've waited a little bit longer. We've got more to talk about.
How do you like Miami?
I love it.
What's your first impressions?
It's great. We've only been here for less than 48 hours and it's a great city. It's probably my favourite city. This and San Diego, I think, are my two favourite cities I've been to.
Ever since COVID too, Miami completely changed. So every time I come to fights here, they're so fucking electric. So I think you're going to love fighting in the Miami atmosphere.
I make it electric anyway, you know that. So when
I saw you say on the interview, you did an interview recently, you were saying there's a ton of fans in the Miami area. You've been getting recognized
I've been quite a few pictures already, been getting some very nice words spoken to me. So I can't wait to walk out. I was saying yesterday on an interview that, Chandler trains in Miami. And if it was anyone else fighting him, they'd probably be an away fighter and get booed. But
is that weird for you, coming from overseas and coming to America and being the hometown crowd is for you?
No, I think anywhere I go when my music comes on, everyone just wants to be a part of the party, the Paddy party. So it's just gonna be like any other night. How
did this fight come about? And did you have any say in who you were fighting next, or did the UFC kind of just come to you with Chandler?
I don't care who they say, you know what I mean? Whoever I get offered, I say, yeah, I'm never turning a fight down. It's just not in me. I'm a fighter. Mm-hmm. So when Chandler, he first got mentioned in December with the fight Michael Chandler next, and I was like, yeah, of course I will. It's a lovely jump up the rankings for me. I'm prepared to fight anyone, and it took a little while for it to get finalised, really. I think he was recovering from something and he was trying to push it back to June. It's my daughter's birthday is 5 days after the fight, so I want to be able to actually enjoy their birthday and enjoy a couple of little month or two off with them and go on holiday and stuff. So I just said I'm fighting April 12th, whether it's Michael Chandler or not, and he stepped up to the plate.
That's awesome. Well, he's a big star for sure, no doubt. What do you make of his his actual skill set as a fighter?
He's well rounded. He's got his main thing that you've got to watch out for is power in his hands. You know what I mean? He comes forward and he throws big left hooks, big overhand rights. As soon as he gets punched in the face, he just wants to have a brawl, and I'll be using that against him. I was saying this yesterday in an interview. I don't see where he can beat me. Only way he's going to beat me is if he throws a Hail Mary punch and it knocks me out, but I don't get knocked out, lad. So I can see me just dismantling him and beating him everywhere. And I can see me beating him more convincingly than Poirier, Gagey and Charles did.
Because Charles went to decision, right? 5 rounds?
Yeah, so did Gagey. Charles went 5 rounds. Gagey went to decision with him. Poirier submitted him in the 3rd. And in the first fight with Charles, he dropped him in the 1st and nearly finished him. But then Charles TKO'd him in the 2nd round. But as I say, they've all made hard work of him. They've all made a tough fight. Most of them have been fight of the night. It's no fight of the night coming this time. I'm getting performance of the night after a fast finish.
So after this fight, because Chandler's a fucking huge star, so where do you think, if you beat Chandler, where does this elevate you in the lightweight division? I feel like after this win for you, this is going to completely shake up lightweight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is. It's going to shake up lightweight in a big way. It's I still get called a prospect, know what I mean? So once I beat Michael, that's going to change. I'm not going to be a prospect anymore. I'm going to be a contender. I'll be coming and taking rank 7. I'll be in the top 7 fighters in the world behind Islam Makhachev. And I'll be asking for a top 4 fighter after that. Arman, Justin, Dustin, or Charles. Want to fight one of them? Just want to beat one of them? I'll be number 1 contender.
What about Ilia? Because he's moving up to 155, right?
Yeah, always.
And you guys have a long history.
Yeah.
That press conference 2 years ago was one of the most fucking entertaining press conferences of all time. Your chirps, like calling him like a fucking chorizo sausage and shit.
That's what he should have changed his name to.
It was funny.
He's changed his nickname to a shit nickname, hasn't he? Like Legend or something.
Yeah.
Should have changed it to El Chorizo. Would have been well funnier.
What do you make of his like involvement? Because that was a long time ago, and now he's kind of fucking leveled up like crazy,
he has.
Right?
But we always knew he was a good fighter. Know what I mean? Like that's something what pisses me off about him. Even though I hate him and I think he's a bellend, like I wouldn't lie and say he's a shit fighter because he's not. But that's what he says about me, and it made me laugh when he said, "What did he say? He called me fat." That's like, lad, you can't make your weight division anymore that you are champion of, and you're trying to call me fat. He's a midget, lad. He's tiny. He's smaller than Michael Chandler. You'll see what I do to Michael Chandler next Saturday night when I dismantle him, and it'll be a very similar game plan to beat Ilia. He's small. He walks forward, swinging shots. I'll kick him up and down the octagon, and I'll either knock him out or submit him. Like that fight's there down the line. No, 100%. That fight's got to happen. That's a fight that you can have as a pay-per-view main event with no title on the line.
That gives me like chills just thinking about that. The press conferences and shit. That'd be crazy.
The press. They'd have to do a world tour for that, like they did with Aldo McGregor. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ilia, it's there anytime. Know what I mean? Anytime, lad.
Because it seems like they don't know what to do. Because Ilia moved up. I don't know if Islam wants to fight him or not. So like he's looking for an opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like this fight is really going to decide a lot of stuff in that whole division.
Yeah, it is. As I've said it a few times, like the old guard of the lightweight division, they're all on the way out. You've got Chandler, who's 38. You've got Dustin, Justin, and Charles, who are all 35 and older. I think even Danaher might be 35. Moicano's 38. Dariush is 38. In the next 2 or 3 years, the top 10 is going to look completely different. The only person in the top 10 I can think of who's under 35 is Arman Tsarukyan. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad.
Do you think he actually got injured or no? Or what do you think happened?
No, he's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Arman. Little boy.
I was confused too because, we had him on the pod that week too. And then, I don't know, he was doing videos too with Nina drama. He was like wrestling and shit.
Yeah. And then he was doing them videos where he flips forward on his neck.
Right.
And then he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said, didn't he? It was like Dana shot him down in that interview. I was like, whoa, that's heavy that. You don't want the boss saying that about you. But because he got asked, didn't he, is Arman still number 1? Right. And he was like, no. Right. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
He basically said that like doctors come out and Heather, the best masseuse in the PI, come out and they never said to him, you can't fight. He decided he's not going to fight. So basically, Arman, you shit your pants. Know what I mean? That's what you did. You farted and followed through and had shit coming down your leg. So that's basically what happened. Yeah,
as a fan, that pullout fucking sucked for sure. Like I was pissed when I saw that. Do you think Islam moves up?
That's what I was about to say. I read something just yesterday saying he's going to wait until the Bilal Jack Della Maddalena fight
and see how that plays out.
And if JDM wins, he's going to go up and fight for that belt. But I don't think the UFC would strip Islam or make him vacate the belt like they did with Ilia. Wouldn't surprise me if Islam does move up after this because he deserves it. Beating Volk, beating Poirier, and then Volk again. And I know the Moicano one was very
You went pretty hard on Moicano, right?
I was just being honest. You know what I mean? Like,
did you say he should have just went to sleep?
Yeah. He's never going to get that opportunity again. He's never going to fight for the lightweight title again. He shouldn't have fought for it that time. He didn't deserve it, but he got the title shot. If I got a title shot like that on 24 hours notice, even if I got a title shot on 8 weeks notice, I am not going, I'm not tapping in a choke. In an armbar or a knee bar or a Kimura where your arm's going to snap or you're going to have a career-threatening injury, yeah. Mm-hmm. But when you go to sleep, you just wake back up. So go to sleep, go out on your shield, don't be a little bitch ass and tap in 3 seconds. I didn't get it. And then he clapped back and he said this and he said that. But once I beat Chandler, Moicano's in the rear view.
You saw Ilia like recently, right? And you guys dabbed each other up?
Yeah, it was quite funny because in the back, all the UFC security was like looking around like that. And then he's come out and started walking towards where I was. And as I say, all the UFC security is shitting themselves. And then he's just looked up at me and went. So I've just started laughing to myself and went and done it back. So obviously then when he was out on stage, I thought, can't argue with him here. He's just saluted me in the back and being all right. And obviously my little mate was fighting Nathan Fletcher, so I didn't want to take anything away from him. So as I walked past him, I just like thought, what can I do here? I just felt like that. It was quite funny, to be fair. If he was playing 3D chess, he would have won. Because if it was rock, paper, scissors, lad, he went like that. But yeah, he said something in an interview after, like we weren't in our fighting roles or something like that. But, you know, it would have just caused absolute havoc on the stage, would have been murder.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of them. I'm not like him. I wouldn't punch someone when they don't expect it, or try to punch someone when they don't expect it, like he did to me. I'm not like that. Know what I mean? I wouldn't steal it on someone. I'd let him know, and then I'd punch him in the face.
Would you say this is the biggest fight of your career right now?
Yeah, definitely the biggest fight of my career.
Because you've been a star too for so long, but I feel like it's been like, have you been purposely taking your time for like a big fight like this? Do you know what I mean?
It's been a slow progression, but me whole career has, apart from when I was younger. Because I had my first amateur fight when I was 16, and then I turned professional when I was 17, because I had no amateur fights left to do. I'd beat everyone. At first, I was going pretty fast. Like I won a world title when I was 21, but then I lost twice, and then I moved up in weight, and my body, I was still too small for the weight class, and I had to grow into me build. Yeah. And since then we've took it pretty slow, know what I mean? We've just took it step by step. Like I got offered 2 UFC contracts before I actually signed. I got offered the contract when I was 21, and then got offered the contract when I was 23, and I didn't actually sign until I was 26.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
I knew I weren't ready, to be honest. We spoke about it with my coaches, and I wasn't. I was still a child fighting men. And I know for a fact if I would have come into the UFC at that time, I probably would have got ragdolled by men, where I was a very small fighter. I wasn't big at all. And I had a lot of holes in my game, a lot of things that I needed to work on. And over time, we've worked on it. And now I feel like a complete fighter. I don't feel like I'm outmatched by anyone in the division anywhere the fight goes.
Was that tough to turn down at the time? Because I'm sure the money in the UFC must have been like better than whatever you were fighting for in another league, right? That's like a pretty calculated decision. No, it wasn't better?
When I got offered the first contract, I got offered the new Cage Warriors deal. And that deal was worth more than the base contract for the UFC. And I done a lot with that money, know what I mean? I saved that money up over years to get a house deposit myself, paid my mum's mortgage off, done a few things like that, and that money done a lot for me over them years. So I'm very grateful to Cage Warriors. They set me up for the start of me adult life, really, because that was when I was 21 when I first started getting that wage. When I first signed for the UFC, I took a pay cut, because as you know, the UFC starting deal's 10 and 10. I signed for a pay cut at first. My first 2 fights were 10 and 10 and 12 and 12. And then obviously after I won my second fight, I got a new deal and it went up.
All right, guys, you guys know I've been putting you on to MoonPay for a minute now, and if you haven't tried it out and you're into crypto, I don't know what you're doing. It is literally the easiest way to buy and sell crypto. The thing about the MoonPay app is it's not just an app. They're low-key powering the entire crypto game behind the scenes. They're basically like the PayPal of crypto. Just like you use PayPal to buy everything online, you can use MoonPay to buy crypto on pretty much every app that exists. And you only need one account and boom, you're tapped into the entire ecosystem. Now, if you guys are into meme coins, you guys got to check out the new app Vector. You can actually link it to your X account and see what your boys are trading. So instead of just guessing what's pumping or dipping, you can go on the app and see what your friends are doing. Whether you're deep in the meme coin trenches or just watching the chaos, you guys can download the Vector app and use code NELK to buy straight from the MoonPay app. Make sure you guys do your own research because the meme coin shit is all over the place, as you guys know, so be smart. But if you are going to send it with the MoonPay app, the best crypto app in the game. You've been a star for so long. You've always had a lot of business outside the ring too, right? How much do you rely on like business and financial stuff outside the ring compared to like inside the ring?
Well, now I've got a new contract again, so I'm getting more money to fight. Yeah, I have sponsors outside of the cage and other things like that. Like me two main sponsors are Under Armour. What I've got on now, I've got that.
That's a fucking dope sponsor.
Yeah, it's a heavy sponsor,
Under
lad.
Armour's dope.
Great sponsor. I got that, and I've been sponsored by a nutrition company called Applied Nutrition for 3 years. They're my two main sponsors. They're where I get me money in outside of fighting.
What happened with the Barstool deal? It used to be with them, right?
Yeah. Used to be a Barstool. That deal was unbelievable. You know what I mean? But it was when Dave bought Barstool back for $1 because the parent company what had it at first, like had it before Dave bought it back. They had it in debt, I think. You know what I mean? Where they just wanted to do the sports book. So when Dave bought it back, he cut a lot of jobs and cut a lot of things to make sure it was making profit again.
Right.
And he just said, like, obviously I'll always be here for you. Anything you need, just let me know. But the sponsorship was going to end.
One thing you're always famous for too is your weight cuts and like how you used to fluctuate in weight like crazy. Are you still gaining weight like that in between fights like you used to?
We'll see when I go to America next. It's America what does it to me, lad.
Really?
When I go to America, lad, the fucking food here, I put ridiculous amounts of weight on. Never forget being in San Diego and weighing myself one Monday morning. And I was like 96 kilo, 210, 215.
210. Holy shit.
I was like 96 kilo. But like that's a lot of water and like keeping hold of it because I weighed myself again on the Friday after a week of training and I was like 90 kilo.
So you probably cut like 20, 25 for a fight too, right? Or whatever it is. And then that's another like 30, 40.
Normally walk around about 185 to 195. Walk around about that. Right now I'm only like 172. This weight cut's going to be pretty easy, to be honest, compared to other ones I've done in the past.
What like fucks you in America? Like what, like after, like what cheat meals?
Everything.
What's your 3 favorite restaurants here?
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out's
Loving
nice.
In-N-Out burger. 4x4.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, Jeff. And I like everything. Wings. I love Italian food. I love Thai food.
Italian's the best.
Yeah.
Pasta.
We've walked past a few Mexican restaurants here, what I think look fantastic.
Yeah.
Even like the diners and things like that. And then obviously you've got like Dunkin' Donuts and
You're a big
things like
guy?
that. Yeah.
What, like donuts, cookies?
Yeah, cookies. Like, have you ever had a cookie dough pie?
Ooh, I've tried that. Yeah.
Well, I had one of them with some ice cream.
Weakness.
Lad, them cookie dough pies are the best dessert on the planet. They're unbelievable. I'm just sitting here now salivating over it, thinking, wow, when I have a cookie dough pie. Oh, when I get home, there's a shop by ours that does them, that big, thick ones. I'll be eating them, celebrating.
So going into this fight, like what weight were you kind of like chilling at for the last few months? Like were you up to 210, that high?
The highest that I got before this fight was like 88 kilo, which is, I think that's like 193, something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
The last fight when I fought Bobby Green, the night before the weigh-in, I was 169.5. So I done 13.5 pound overnight in the bath.
Fuck, how much of a toll does that take on you?
It's one of them. You've got to have the mental fortitude for it. It's more mental than physical.
Really?
A lot of people are bitches when it comes to the bath and want to get out and like, oh, I can't do this.
I'd be a bitch for sure, bro. That sounds fucked.
As I say, you've got to be mentally strong to do it. But as I say, this one's going to be pretty easy for me. As I said, I've done 13.5 pound last time and I was heavier at this stage last time, a week out. I wasn't 172, I was more like 174, 175. So this time I'm going to have less weight to cut.
Probably feels nice, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As long as I've got less than 13.5 pound, I'm very happy. And I know I'm going to have less than 13.5 pound. Did
you have to change like stuff based on prior weight cuts? Like was there ever a weight cut that was like, KO, I got no more fucking cookie cream pie? Yeah, I've had a few. It was more when I was making featherweight. When I was fighting at featherweight, 2 times that I went 5 rounds as well. When I fought Julian Erosa, I cut 8.3 kilo overnight. I think it's about 18 pounds, something like that, 17 pound. I cut that overnight. Wow. And then when I fought Nad Narimani, I'd done 16 pounds overnight. I felt like absolute dog shit in the fight. You know what I mean? Against the Rosa after the 3rd round, I gassed and was just surviving for 2 rounds. And then again in the Nad fight, I was pretty similar. I was just surviving towards the later end of the fight. So doing less weight obviously helps. And
it'll help me even more because you've seen how jacked Michael Chandler is. Even though he's very small, he's probably going to cut a lot of weight as well because he's so wide.
He's shredded, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it your last fight you gave the post-fight speed about mental health?
No, that was a few years ago.
Right?
Yeah, that was 2023. The night after me mate killed himself.
That was like a really big moment, and I saw that it kind of like affected like a lot of people. There was like a big response on the internet.
Yeah,
is that still like a passion of yours, like men's mental health?
Yeah, I still get messages about it now. You know what I mean? People, and when I bump into some people like, "Oh, you saved my life," or "You saved my mate's life," or "my son's life," I'm just like, I didn't save anyone's life, lad. I just said what anyone in my position should say. I feel like people who are in the public eye, anything like that, they should speak about, you know what I mean? Because people do sit up and take notice. Things like that, that's proper close to my heart now because Ricky took his own life. And as I say, it was 36 hours before the fought. It was on early hours on the Thursday morning when I found out, and then I weighed in the next morning and then fought the next night. It was a rough one, but it was just, and I never planned to do that. It come to me head when I was doing me talk. Wow. My post-fight interview, and I just thought I need to speak about this because the amount of people the amount of men that you hear what kill themselves now, it still happens now. News of people killing themselves. A lad who used to train with in San Diego, Hacker, seen he killed himself a few months ago, and you know it's heartbreaking. It's tragic. Now with the Paddy Foundation, I try and help charities help with men's mental health. There's a charity in the UK called James's Place. And we donated money to that from my foundation so that they can employ an extra person for 2 years and they can be a counsellor.
So it's just like a stigma, right? That like men are supposed to be tough and hard and like they can never feel a way, or like, is that kind of what it's about?
Yeah, it's a proper old-fashioned stigma. You know what I mean? It's like saying women should only stay in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like saying men shouldn't talk. It's a thing of the past. It's something that we shouldn't be even saying in 2025.
Is that something that's ever like personally affected you, like mental health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as I said before, I lost 2 fights out of 3 at one point in my career, and I went into the second fight injured. I shouldn't have fought. Went into the second fight with a broken hand, but I felt like the whole show was riding on me. It needed me, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. And I had about 8 teammates fighting on it. So I didn't pull out. I should have. I still fought. I had a splint on my hand. Even like a week before the fight training, I had a splint underneath my boxing wraps. Again, I shouldn't have done it, but after that fight, it affected me bad. Because in the first round, I had a deep rear naked choke on. And if my hand weren't so weak, it would have put him to sleep. But because my hand was so weak, it never. And it burnt my arms out. And I lost the fight over 5 rounds. So just every morning I'd wake up, my now wife would give me a kiss and go to work, and I'd just lie there crying, just like, what, how's this happened? How have I not won that belt? And I was like that for months and months and months. Because of that with my hand, I couldn't fight because I had to have more surgery, and I didn't fight for like 18 months. I was meant to fight like 14 months later, but some fat dickhead weighed in like 9 pound overweight, so I couldn't fight. And then I did, as I say, I didn't end up fighting for 18 months. And then my whole world nearly fell apart again because the weekend I was meant to fight was the weekend that all the COVID restrictions came in.
Mm.
So we had to fight behind closed doors. It was luckily enough, like Cage Warriors was the first and only sporting event to happen that weekend. The same weekend that UFC London got cancelled, Cage Warriors did the show behind closed doors. So I was lucky that I even got to fight. Otherwise I would have hit a deeper depression. That place what I mentioned before, James's Place, without them, I don't know if it'd still be here. Because I went and got counselling and went and spoke to someone in there who helped me a lot.
So what would be your biggest advice to someone that's like, you know, struggling with something? Just talk to somebody.
Get it off your chest. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because he sat here, my boxing coach Chris. I remember sitting with him and him saying something like that to me. Oh, lad, you speak about it. It's not as bad. And I sat there and don't know if I ended up crying speaking to him. And like I woke up the next day and I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And as I say, I was going to counselling and stuff like that as well. And I think I told the missus and I told someone else. But even at that time, I had that stigma. I was like, oh, I can't speak to the missus about this. She'll think less of me. I can't speak to me mates about this. They'll think I'm a mushroom.
Especially maybe as a fighter too.
Yeah,
you're even more supposed to be like the epitome of like a hard ass person,
tough, right? And all that. I'm not meant to feel like that, but just shows that anybody can feel like that. Doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, or how hard or tough you are, or how confident you are. Because I am, when it comes to fighting, I'm the most confident person in the world. I don't think anyone will beat me. But when it comes to your emotions and your feelings, it's a completely different ballgame.
Real quick, let's talk about making money online, because if you're trying to do it and you're not doing Shopify, you are missing out. You guys know how crazy our Full Send merch drops got? The reason it was so successful was the business behind the business was Shopify. They were there for us since day one. Since we were selling merch in our garage to when we had 300,000 people on our website at a time, Shopify was there for us every step of the way. So whether you guys are running a side hustle or trying to build a business empire, Shopify has your back. And with Shopify's new feature, Shop Pay, conversions can go up by 50%. That's way more less abandoned carts. It even allows us to offer you guys free shipping with a purchase of $100 or more on fullsend.com right now. Go to fullsend.com to take advantage of it now. If you want to get started, you guys can sign up for a $1 per month free trial at shopify.com/fullsend. So guys, go to shopify.com/fullsend, sign up for a $1 per month free trial, and take your business to the next level today. What would you say you like fight for now as opposed to maybe in the past? Has it changed at all?
Well, now that I've had kids and I've got 2 babies, I fight for them. When if, like, obviously everyone has that little thing in them when they feel like quitting, they don't want to do no more. I just think of me kids, and I think of me opponent trying to take food out my kid's mouth, and I think, no, this isn't happening. I want to work harder. I want to make sure that I am unbeatable. That is my main motivation. All the lads have said to me since I actually had the kids, there's been like a switch in me. I haven't noticed it personally because I'm just me. But my family, my friends, my coaches, my teammates have all said that I'm a lot more focused. I'm a lot more switched on. I'm trying even harder than I've ever tried, and it's because I've got a wife and 2 children at home that I need to look after, I need to provide for, and I'm not letting no man beat me and stop me from providing for them.
I bet that keeps you like more dialed, right? Just having that like when you were coming up, did you ever go through like a little bit of a...
Oh yeah, when I was younger, fat lad, when I was 21 and I won that Cage Warriors world title, it went in my head a bit. I was going out partying all the time, going out Saturday, Sunday, out till 4:35 in the morning. Then I'd have 3 hours sleep and get up and go to the gym. And I just wasn't focused. I wasn't all in like you need to be in this game. And that's why I'm so glad that I didn't go to UFC when I first got offered, because I had to have that realisation years ago. I had to have that when I was 21, 22, thinking I was the boy, thinking I was the best in the world already, thinking I didn't need to work on nothing. Like back then, I wasn't in the gym consistently 365 days a year. I was going in for fight camps and it was focused on weight cuts. I wasn't really focused on technique and getting better. Where now, I'm in the gym every single day, even after a fight, even when you see me fat. I'm in the gym every day training. I don't miss a session. I'm in there, whether I'm fat, whether I'm injured, if I'm watching. I'm in the gym training every day, getting better every day. I don't have days off anymore. Like, that's why my physique's the way it is now. Because
it's fucking, like, just as a fan, like, I can only imagine, but it's just the toughest sport to, like, be at the top compared to any other sport, I feel. Like, the UFC is just the most competitive thing. To be champion, you got to just be like fully committed to your craft, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have so much respect for like you guys.
I didn't let it get to me head too much in the UFC, but even going into the Jared Gordon fight, what a lot of people think I lost, was a close fight. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. I was going to win. You know what I mean? I was already thinking about the next opponent. I had to get my head screwed on a bit more. That was a proper blessing in disguise. Like, I could have lost on that night very easily. A lot of journalists, a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of people think it was a robbery. I personally watched it back and I think it was a close fight. I still think I won, but obviously I have a little bit of bias. Close, I have a little bit of bias towards myself, and it was very close. And I was half lucky to get the win that night, but that fight changed me. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, it really did. I'll never overlook an opponent ever again. I overlooked Jared. I thought, this is a foregone conclusion. I'm going to win here. He fought one of my former teammates, and he just about beat him over 3 rounds, and I used to school that teammate every sparring session. So I thought, yeah, it's easy this. But styles make fights. His style on the night was a good, very good style to beat me. I did get injured in the first round. I snapped my ankle in the first round, so I didn't have much mobility for like 14 minutes. That's why I couldn't get out the way of his left hook. Kept stepping back and just getting clocked with the left hook because I couldn't move properly. But at the same time, I can't take nothing away from him. Jared Gordon's still my hardest fight to date. 100%. Like, without that fight, I don't think I'd be where I am now. If I would have steamrolled Jared and then fought someone in the top 15, you never know. My career might be different. I might have got beaten
Everything
by
happens for a reason,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Everything happens for a reason.
I see Sugar Sean, he posted recently. He's kind of talking about that too. He's made a lot of lifestyle changes. I think he said he hasn't like jerked off or like
That was weird.
He quit. I don't know if we needed to know that, Sugar, but he quit COD. He quit smoking weed. So I guess he kind of had a realization like that too, which is interesting. But what do you think about that fight? They just announced that Sugar Marab too.
I think it's a mad one, to be honest, because he hasn't fought since he got beat by Merab, has he? But Sean's a star. Well, he's one of the biggest stars in the sport. Probably got like one of the most followers out of everyone, and he's pay-per-view. You know what I mean? People want to see him fight.
You think he has a chance to beat Marab?
Yeah, especially if he comes in with some adjustments.
Yeah, because he didn't look like himself totally in the last fight. But that could have just been Marab being so good. Because Marab, what did you think of his performance against Umar?
Marab's quality, lad, is
fucking crazy.
Yeah, his cardio is ridiculous. No, it really is. Like, he's probably got the best cardio in the UFC at the minute. Like, I read something that he does 5 rounds in the back before he comes out and fights.
I bet the guy's a nut. Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me. He made Umar look silly in the later rounds. He schooled him in round 3, 4, and 5. He really did make him look silly. So Marab's gonna be a tough one to beat for anyone. Never mind Sean O'Malley or whoever. Marab's gonna be a tough champion to take the belt off. If anyone could do it, Sean O'Malley can. You know what I mean? He knocked Aljamain Sterling out and no one thought he was going to do that. Yeah, let's see what happens. Think it'll be a good fight. I still want to see Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan too.
That would be good.
That was a scrap, the first fight, so I'd love to see.
Yeah, Sugar wins, maybe that'll happen, or Umar.
Yeah, if Peter Yan wins another fight, he's definitely #1 contender.
Yeah.
Because he's back number 3 or something like that,
Yeah,
number
he's up
4.
there, yeah. A lot of people are saying that the UFC is just lacking stars as champions right now. Would you agree with that? Like Pereira just lost. People don't think Bilal's a huge star at welterweight.
Yeah, he's not. No disrespect, Bilal, but you're not.
Do you think they're having a bit of trouble with that right now?
It's one of them though. Like, the best fighters in the world have the belt. Doesn't need to be a star. It's just the best fighter in the world has that belt. I think Sean Brady's a brilliant fighter. If JDM doesn't win, he's next in line. Well, saying that, there's still Shavkat. Shavkat's also in line for the title, but he's keeps getting injured, or Bilal got injured the first time. So welterweight's gonna get a shake up, I think. Like, the belt could change hands multiple times at welterweight.
If Islam goes up there too.
Yeah, if Islam goes up, you never know. He could win the belt. If he's if he can wrestle fuck some of them people at welterweight, lad, he's taking that belt. He is, because pound for pound #1 in the world at the minute. Like, I've got the toughest division to try and take the belt from.
Lightweight's always been the most
Lightweight's
tough,
always
right?
been, yeah. Apart from light heavyweight years ago when I was growing up, when you had like Rampage, Shogun, Rashad.
Oh, that was what, light heavyweight?
Forrest Griffin, yeah.
Those were the days.
They were the days.
That's when I was really started watching UFC.
Yeah, that's when I first started watching UFC.
Machida.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
I know what you mean with Pereira losing the belts. The UFC probably didn't want that to happen because he is a big star, Pereira. That was the first fight I've watched him live as well, and he got beat by Ankalaev.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them, the best in the world are going to have the belt. That's just the way it is, especially with the UFC. It's not like boxing, where you'd have like 5 different belts. You'd have 1 belt in each weight class, and they are the best in the world, whoever has that belt. But I don't think you need to have a belt to be a star. You know what I mean?
Definitely not, yeah.
Definitely not. Look at me. You know what I mean? I'm only ranked 12, but I've got like 3.5 million followers. So I've got more followers than most champs have. And then even Ilia now, he's a star. But he hasn't got a belt.
He's a big star too.
Know what I mean? Kamzat. Everybody loves Kamzat. Kamzat hasn't got a belt. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you need a belt.
There's a lot of stars in the making that could be champs.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I think it's going to get shaken up. Like, come a year from now, it's going to look obviously totally different. And all the switches and stuff.
Definitely.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fights happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it, and like, it's gotta happen. There's no way that can't happen.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against John Jones. I've been watching John Jones, as I say, since 2010. I can remember watching when he got DQ'd against Matt Hamill live.
How has he been in the game so long?
I know.
Like, he's been there since those guys we just mentioned. Like, he
beat all them
he was
guys.
there when GSP was in.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked.
It's mad. He's got proper longevity, and the one thing I do think John Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is fight IQ. He game plans to beat people, and he doesn't fight the same way every fight. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against John Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
I know you say you don't overlook an opponent, but do you ever think about like your like 2-year plan or 3-year plan, whatever it is? Like, how do you see your career playing out?
Yeah, obviously I don't look past the opponent, but
you probably visualize and think about how you want shit.
I'm going to beat Michael Chandler. I'm going to finish Michael Chandler in 2
rounds.
Yeah.
All right, prize picks right there.
And then I'm going to fight someone like Charles Oliveira in Abu Dhabi. Charles or Justin. I think Dustin will be retired by then. So fight or even Arman, but I think he'll have a fight by then. And then once I beat them, fight for the title in 2026. That's my roadmap. That's the path I'm going to follow.
That'd be fucking crazy. I think the Ilia fight's got to happen.
Yeah, that's got to happen.
I want to come to the press conference and sit.
Everyone was saying to me, would you like Ilia to become champ? Because then I'll probably get a title shot straight away. And no, I don't want him to be champ. I don't want him to be champ at all. Fuck that midget. Know what I mean? I'd rather win the belt and then he can fight for the title when I've got it. And I'll have my first defense, smashing his little teeth in.
Would you ever do a fight like outside the UFC one day when your contract's up? Like, do you ever think about those super fights, like a boxing fight or anything like that? I'm
in this game to be a world champion, know what I mean? But prize fighters at the end of the day. Obviously, it's not going to be like a Mayweather-McGregor, but if something like that happened and someone was offering me millions of pounds, hundreds of millions to box someone, I'm doing it.
Ilia Paddy would be like on that level, I think. Not McGregor Mayweather, but yeah, that would be fucking big. That's 2 stars.
Yeah, that'd do pay-per-view buys 100%.
Yeah.
It'd do more than most title fights. That's why I'm saying you don't even need the title on the line for that fight. That's just a pay-per-view headliner right there.
How's your relationship evolved with the UFC over the years?
I've always had a good relationship with the UFC. You know what I mean? Over time, like I can remember, obviously when I turned the UFC down the second time, I lost my fight after it. The amount of hate I was getting online, like he's never going to get the UFC now, they're never going to want him, this and that. And then as I say, I had to sit out for 18 months because I was injured. That's all I heard. Oh, he should have took the UFC when he had the chance, this and that. And then I had 2 fights in a year and got offered the contract. And a lot of people thought that the UFC wouldn't like me or wouldn't offer me another contract because I'd turned them down at first. And it was the opposite. You know what I mean? As soon as I had that first fight, as soon as I absolutely knocked Luigi Vendramini out and got the mic and said, Scousers don't get knocked out, the UFC have loved me. And you're going, no, aren't you? Look at me. You know what I mean? I don't look like a fighter. I look like fucking Hanson. But you know what I mean? So as I say, I've got a great relationship with the UFC. I always have done since I first signed, and I can't see it souring anytime soon. I think we're always going to have a good relationship. The way my career's progressed, it's been perfect. It's been perfect timing. Now getting a nice jump up the rankings, I can't thank them enough because I'm number 12 fighting number 7. I've got to come in
this is your time.
Yeah, this is my time. I've got to come in and show everyone that the old guard is fading out and the new guard's coming through, and I am one of the new guard.
Yeah, I like Chandler. He's a great guy. I just think he doesn't. He gets a little lost, and I think he's going to try to brawl, and I think you're just going to
definitely.
I think you're going to pick him apart.
He comes out and tries to entertain.
Yeah,
like obviously I love entertaining,
which is great.
It's great, but first and foremost, for fighters, we want to win the fight. It sounds bad to say, but I'd obviously rather have a boring fight and win it.
He kind of does just say it too. He's like, we're going to go out and put on a show. Like, he never actually says like, yo, I'm going to beat him.
That's what I mean.
He's always just like, we're going to put on a great show.
I've done a split screen interview yesterday with him, and he basically said that.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fireworks, we're going to have this and that.
Yeah.
And then when I got asked, I was like, he's getting finished in 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just said, he's getting beat.
Yeah.
And he just said, we're going to have a great fight and that. And he keeps saying, like, I'm going to test that chin, I'm going to this and that. But he's not saying, like, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. He comes off very confident and stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't think he is. I think he has in the back of his mind that he's going to lose.
Yeah.
I seen a tweet a couple of weeks ago. Someone tweeted him saying, I'm going to bet the house on you, or should I bet the house on you? And he tweeted back, no.
Really?
Like, what? If someone asked me
bet
that,
the house on Chandler.
yeah. If someone asked me that, though, I'd be like, yeah, bet the house on me because I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
Chandler needs to get into motivational speaking. Have you seen his Instagram?
Yeah.
The lad, he needs to get into motivational speaking, lad. He'd be a great motivational speaker on stage, just talking. I reckon that's what he's going to go into.
He's actually a fucking great dude.
Yeah, when
I've gambled with him at Vegas.
I've met him a few times.
He's a very nice guy.
Like, after the beat Tony, he come over to me and started talking to me and stuff. And
oh yeah, you guys had that. You guys had that interaction.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
He's like, I think he's a cool dude. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I can remember when I beat Rodrigo Vargas or Lever in London. He sent me a video, like a selfie video, going, "Oh, Paddy the Paddy," and like I always said, I don't think we'd end up fighting, and he said the same. He didn't. Like, I can remember when he was at UFC London, the second one, what I fought on when I fought Lever, he was like the guest fighter, and he was saying, "Oh, you know," he was saying he'll be champion in the next 12 months, and then I'll come through in years to come. And I don't think we ever thought we'd fight each other, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? We've ended up being around at the same time still. Know what I mean? As I say, he's 38, I'm only 30. I didn't know if he'd still be fighting now, because over the years he's had some wars. He's been in a lot of scraps. You know, his body's feeling it. Know what I mean? Doesn't look like he does any wrestling when he trains, and that'll probably because, like, Kamara husband, the knees are fucked. Like, they've done that much wrestling over the years that the knees are absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
I've never really had a war. Like, his chin's been tested several times, man. Hasn't really. So I think that's going to play a factor in this fight. The fact that I am more of a spring chicken, and he's getting old. He's a vet. Know what I mean?
He's 38. I didn't know that. Yeah.
He fought Eddie Alvarez in a fight of the year in 2011, where they dropped each other about 5 times. So his chin's been getting tested for years and years, and I can just see him on the end of one of my punches, lad, as he lunges in, or the end of a knee, the end of a foot, the end of an elbow, and I'm just folding like a deck chair. Well,
I'm pumped for this fight. I'm honestly low-key more pumped for this fight than the main event. I think this is gonna be a sick fight. I think you take the dub, and I think this just shakes up the whole lightweight division, and everything changes. So
the amount of people, even lad, I love Volk and I love Lopez. Both very entertaining fighters. Both great guys. I've met the pair of them. They're both proper cool dudes. So in that fight, I'm not picking no one. I wish them both the best of luck. And whoever wins, wins. But the amount of people this week that have been coming over to me and saying, like, you're the people's main event, you're the people's main event. And lad, that just fills me with so much joy. Knowing that people are watching this show to watch me. They know that I come and I bring it. And they want to watch me, even though there's a world title fight at the main event. They're saying they're going to watch the show for me. You know, I am going to bring it. I'm going to come out and I'm going to take Michael Chandler's head off. Whether I squeeze his throat that hard, his fucking head gets decapitated, or whether I fucking punch him, kick him, knee him, or elbow him that hard that he can't fucking keep conscious. All
right, we're locking Paddy in hard. Let's go, boys. No, I'm pumped about it, bro. We wish you the best luck. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got a busy week, but we'll be there fucking cheering for you at the fight. UFC 314. I'm fucking pumped about it.
I am,
let's go,
lad.
Paddy.
Yeah, let's do this.
Paddy's time, man.
Can't wait to see you cage side, lad. As I say, I'll be jumping on that cage in celebration when I win, lad. And I'll be like that.
Let's go. I'm pumped. Paddy the Paddy, baby. Let's go.